occasion we find a pineapple plant in the garden that we forgot to pick. And so here's one. You can see how well developed all these suckers are. This one had a pineapple on it that must have rotted away here, and so we've got some really, really big suckers that formed on this one. I'm just going to go ahead in here and I'm going to break these off by hand. Be careful, pineapple leaves at the tip are rather sharp. Okay, they're coming off real easy. This is a piece of cake here. Whoa, we got a coqui frog. Oh, stupid coqui frogs. Okay, this one is going to be hard to propagate with. It's a real curl. Got an awful lot of tops on this one. This is a very healthy pineapple. Sorry that I missed it, probably. It must have been a whopper. Anyway, keep going here. Looks like these must be... what? Yeah, these are basil suckers over here. Let's see. Get them off of there. Oh, these tough ones. They've been on there a while. There we go. Got that one. We already got a little bit of root. See? Right there. Bit of vestal root forming on the bottom where it was damp. Looking for a place to get itself started. And that one's halfway to being a pineapple plant already. There we go. Got another one. Let's see, what do we got back here on the original plant? Looks like, we got two suckers all the way there at the back. I'm going to let those be on this plant. I'm going to remove everything that was formed up here on the stalk. There we go. Got that one that's got a little bit of a root on it too. Okay. There. Take care of that. I've left two of the suckers in place over here on the plant to continue growing pineapples in that area. I found 7 really good suckers on that pineapple plant that I can use for propagation. There were 3 others. 2 I've left in spot to continue growing in that location. The third one was so curled from growing underneath that it's going to be a little hard to work with, and so I probably won't mess with it, although it would grow. Otherwise, here between the coffee plants that were put in 12 months ago, I have dropped 1 pineapple plant between each one of the coffee plants in the row. Now I'm going to proceed to prepare them for putting them in the ground. So I want to go ahead and remove a little bit of the base over here. It'll just give us a clean stem on the bottom that we can plant. It will also expose some of the vestal roots that are forming in here so the plant takes off a little quicker. There we go. Right here, you see those are the little roots, and they were there underneath the leaves looking for soil. Now we've made it a little easier for them to get out of there. So this one here is ready. To get this in the ground, it's really very simple situation. I'm just going to go ahead here and I'm going to pull the weed block aside. I'm going to make a little divot in the soil underneath so that we can stick this into the ground. I'm going to insert the pineapple plant deep enough that it remains stationary, and then I'm just going to push down enough soil around the base of it here that it'll stay put. Keeping it firm in the ground is important. This right here is some pelletized chicken manure. It makes a pretty good fertilizer for starting pineapples because it's got both nitrogen and phosphorus. It lasts a while because it's an organic. I sprinkled maybe a couple of tablespoons around it here in the ground. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to tuck the weed block right back up around the sides of the pineapple. We'll grab a rock here to weight it down so it doesn't pop apart. If you're in good pineapple country, obviously the easiest way to do this is we just take those suckers I prepared. We dig a little bit of a hole in the soil and push the sucker into the soil and then apply some fertilizer around the base of it. I ordinarily use either pelletized chicken manure or I'll use a citrus food for the purpose of growing pineapples. It seems to work pretty well. Here in Puna district of Hawaii, these things are almost weeds. They will spring up almost anywhere you push them into the ground. In this case, I'm using an industrial weed block fabric to keep the weeds down between the pineapples so we have a nice clean crop over here. Well, at this point, I've gone ahead here without you, and I've put in 6 out of 7 of the pineapple tops. We got one here positioned between each and every one of the coffee plants. The principle on this is it takes just about 2 years for the pineapples to come to fruit, but it's going to take more like 3 or 4 for the coffee to spread out and start to create coffee. You can see back here, here's some mature plants in the next row that are fruiting at this point. That one right there in bloom is probably about its 3rd year. Over here with coffee cherry on it, about the 4th year. Down below it, you can see that there are pineapple plants that were put in several years ago. In fact, right there is the one that we stripped for these suckers. So we'll go ahead here now, and I'm going to take the last one and give you a close-up. We've gone in here under the weed block. We've taken a trowel and we've pulled out a plug of the volcanic soil. I have a top here. It's been stripped back some. There's a little bit of root hanging off the bottom of it. Now, that's a pretty big piece of plant, and so we got to make sure that this is firmed down well. I'm going to go ahead and push the soil over the top of it right there, and then I'm going to pack it down good with the trowel to make sure that the plant is firmed well. Such a large plant is a little harder to work with. There's an earthworm. You should like this chicken manure here. Get the there we go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and, like I say, put a couple of tablespoons of chicken manure down on the ground there. Then I'm going to pull the weed block back up around the plant and go ahead and put my foot on this. There we go. Make sure that it's packed down good around the plant. Then I'm going to look over here for sizable stone. Good insurance. We'll go ahead and toss a chunk of lava right here on top of this. Help hold things down. And that's about all there is to it. There you go. See? Got a whole row of pineapples. Gonna be delicious.